In this video, we're going to go over how to mark duplicates or remove duplicates in your ZenLedger account. So the software does usually detect duplicates, like it will detect if you're trying to add a wallet address that you've already added a second time and it won't let you. It'll come up with a warning. And it will do the same with exchanges sometimes if you're adding another API, but it doesn't always catch the duplicates. So like let's say you add an exchange API or a wallet address, but then you add the same transactions with a CSV, not knowing that you already had them added. That type of thing will cause duplicates and it will cause issues in your account. You never want duplicates because then it's, the software having the same transaction history twice, and that's certainly going to have an impact on the tax calculation. So we want to avoid that. And that's why it's important to understand how you're importing your transactions. So just a general overview, you can always view your import history, either the import history of the total portfolio or the individual imports. You can check the holdings to make sure that they're not inflated. If the holdings are inflated, like much higher than they should be, then we can definitely suspect that may be caused by duplicates. So we would want to look at the import history. We'll use this one as an example. Now here we only have one wallet address added, this Bitcoin wallet address. But let's say you had the wallet address added and a CSV below it. Maybe the CSV is older or vice versa. The wallet address is older than the CSV. But if this number was inflated higher than it should be and you had a wallet address and a CSV added, we could definitely assume that there's some duplicates happening. And in order to confirm that, you would want to go to the transactions page and you would want to filter for that import source, so that particular Bitcoin address, and then review the transactions to make sure that there's no duplicates. When you're reviewing the transactions, you're wanting to look at the time of import and the value. Those are the primary things you want to look at. So like this here is actually drew my attention. So this is 1 Bitcoin and 1 Bitcoin withdrawn on the same date. However, the time is different. So that I would assume is not a duplicate because the time is different. If it's a duplicate, the time is going to be almost exact or exact, and the value of the token is also going to be exact. So those are the two things you want to look for. Let's assume that we did find some duplicate transactions in there. So if there was only a few duplicate transactions, we would follow the second method, which I'll show you in a moment. But if there was many duplicates, probably the best thing to do would be to remove the CSV, because we can assume that the wallet address had imported all the transactions. So if it was the CSV, you would click these 3 dots to the right and select to delete. You could always download the CSV first if you wanted to make sure you didn't lose it entirely by deleting it, and then delete that. So you would only have the wallet address remaining. Make sure the wallet address is up to date. If you need to resync it, you can do that by clicking the 3 dots and select resync, and then see where the holdings value is from there. It can take the holding value some time to update, so you do just want to keep that in mind. So that's one way to remove duplicate transactions, is by deleting a source entirely. The second way to remove duplicate transactions is by doing it on a transaction by transaction basis. So similar like I showed before, we would go to the import source, like let's keep going with that Bitcoin wallet. So I would filter for that. And then let's say that these two outgoing 1 Bitcoins did actually occur at the same time. And so I can assume that those were a duplicate, especially if I had the 2 different sources added, the wallet and the CSV for this wallet address. So if I can confirm that this is a duplicate, I would want to mark one of these 2 transactions as ignore. That will remove it from being included in the tax calculation. So this is just a test account I use, so I will go ahead and mark one of them as ignore. You just click the three dots here and then select mark as ignore. And then it should just disappear in a second. Yep, because I don't have ignored transactions as visible. I could always select that if I did want to see it, and we see it's grayed out here. If that was a mistake, you can always re-enable the transaction by clicking enable transaction. So that goes over the two different main methods to address duplicate transactions in your account. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out in the support chat box here. We are there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern every day of the week to offer you help along the way.